Conspiracy theories surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic have been prevalent since its onset. While it is important to note that these theories lack scientific evidence and are often debunked, they continue to circulate and influence public discourse. Here are 10 notable conspiracy theories that appeared regarding COVID-19. It is crucial to approach conspiracy theories with skepticism, verify information from credible sources, and rely on scientific evidence provided by experts. Misinformation can hinder efforts to combat the pandemic effectively and put lives at risk. Number 10. Suppression of effective treatments. Some conspiracy theories argue that effective treatments for COVID-19 exist, but are being intentionally suppressed by governments, pharmaceutical companies, or other entities. However, scientific research and rigorous clinical trials are continuously conducted to find effective treatments, and the most promising options are swiftly adopted. Indeed, the claim that effective treatments for COVID-19 are being intentionally suppressed is a persistent conspiracy theory. Proponents of this theory often suggest that there are existing drugs or alternative therapies that can effectively treat or even cure the virus. However, they are being deliberately hidden or suppressed for various reasons. However, it is essential to note that discovering and evaluating effective treatments for any disease, including COVID-19, follows established scientific protocols. Rigorous clinical trials are conducted to assess the safety and efficacy of potential treatments before they are approved for widespread use. This process ensures that treatments are thoroughly evaluated and that any potential risks or side effects are appropriately understood. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, many clinical trials have been conducted to evaluate various potential treatments, including antiviral drugs, monoclonal antibodies, and repurposed medications. Promising treatments such as remdesivir, dexamethasone, and monoclonal antibody therapies have been authorized or approved for emergency use in many countries based on the evidence of their effectiveness. The scientific community is continuously researching and evaluating new treatment options as well. It is essential to understand that not all experimental treatments will ultimately prove effective or safe. Some initially promising treatments are ineffective or even harmful during rigorous clinical trials. This is why following established scientific processes and relying on evidence-based medicine is crucial. Conspiracy theories that claim effective treatments are being suppressed often lack substantial evidence. They rely on misinformation, anecdotal reports, or cherry-picked data, which can be misleading and dangerous. Public health agencies, regulatory bodies, and independent experts assess and review scientific evidence to ensure safe and effective treatments are available to the public. In conclusion, the claim that effective treatments for COVID-19 are intentionally suppressed is not supported by scientific evidence. The scientific community, regulatory agencies, and governments worldwide are committed to finding and implementing the most effective treatments based on rigorous research and clinical trials. It is crucial to rely on reputable sources and scientific consensus when evaluating the efficacy and safety of COVID-19 treatments. Number 9. Vaccine side effects and population control. This theory contends that COVID-19 vaccines are unsafe, causing severe side effects and even infertility as a method of population control. Regulatory agencies worldwide have thoroughly reviewed and authorized COVID-19 vaccines, affirming their safety and efficacy. The conspiracy theory suggesting that COVID-19 vaccines are unsafe and used for population control is entirely unfounded. Vaccines undergo rigorous testing and evaluation before being approved for public use. Regulatory agencies worldwide, such as the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the European Medicines Agency, and the World Health Organization, have all reviewed and authorized COVID-19 vaccines based on extensive clinical trial data. The safety and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines have been carefully assessed through large-scale clinical trials involving tens of thousands of participants. These trials follow strict protocols to evaluate vaccine safety, potential side effects, and effectiveness in preventing COVID-19 infection and its severe consequences. After the clinical trial phase, regulatory agencies conduct thorough data reviews, scrutinizing the evidence before granting emergency use authorizations or total approvals. These agencies consider the balance between the benefits of vaccination in preventing COVID-19 and its potential risks. Additionally, post-authorization monitoring systems are in place to continuously assess vaccine safety and find rare or unexpected side effects. Reports of adverse events are thoroughly investigated to ensure the ongoing safety of the vaccines. To date, the overwhelming evidence from real-world data and global vaccination campaigns supports the safety and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines. Millions of people worldwide have received the vaccines, which have proven to be highly effective in preventing severe illness, hospitalization, and death caused by COVID-19. Claims linking COVID-19 vaccines to infertility or population control lack scientific evidence. Vaccine development and approval processes adhere to stringent scientific standards, focusing on public health benefits and safety. Independent experts and regulatory agencies have found no credible evidence supporting the notion that COVID-19 vaccines have any adverse effects on fertility or are used for population control. It is essential to rely on correct information from reputable sources such as health authorities, scientific research, and recognized medical experts when considering COVID-19 vaccines. Vaccination stays a critical tool in controlling the spread of the virus and saving lives. Number 8. Originating from a foreign power, conspiracy theories point fingers at various foreign powers, accusing them of deliberately creating and spreading the virus to gain geopolitical advantages. However, extensive investigations and expert opinions have found no credible evidence supporting these claims. The conspiracy theory suggesting that a foreign power intentionally created and spread the COVID-19 virus for geopolitical gain is not supported by credible evidence. Scientists, public health organizations, and independent experts have extensively investigated the virus's origin. The most widely accepted scientific consensus, supported by multiple studies and investigations, shows that the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which causes COVID-19, has a zoonotic origin. It likely originated in animals and was transmitted to humans, potentially through an intermediate animal host. The details of zoonotic transmission are still being studied, focusing on understanding the exact animal source and the circumstances leading to the first human infection. The World Health Organization conducted a joint study with Chinese experts in Wuhan, where the first reported cases appeared, to investigate the virus's origins. The study concluded that introduction through an intermediate host was the most likely pathway and that a laboratory leak was extremely unlikely. The study also emphasized the need for further research and international collaboration to understand the virus's origins better. Numerous independent scientific studies from around the world support the zoonotic origin theory. These studies involve genetic sequencing of the virus, comparative analysis with related viruses in animals, and epidemiological investigations. The scientific community continues researching better to understand the virus's origin and transmission dynamics. Accusing specific foreign powers of deliberately creating and spreading the virus is based on speculation, geopolitical tensions, and misinformation. It is essential to rely on credible sources of information and scientific consensus when evaluating the virus's origins. Promoting unfounded conspiracy theories can further fuel tensions, hinder global efforts to control the pandemic, and collaborate to find practical solutions. International cooperation and transparency in sharing data and research findings are crucial for understanding and responding to global health challenges like COVID-19. By working together, the scientific community can continue investigating the virus's origins and developing effective strategies to prevent future pandemics. Number 7. Deep State and Global Control. This theory suggests that a secretive group often called the deep state or global elite orchestrated the pandemic to gain control over governments and economies worldwide. It alleges that measures like lockdowns and mask mandates are part of a broader agenda to manipulate society. Deep state and global control. This conspiracy theory suggests that a secretive group, often called the deep state or global elite, orchestrated the COVID-19 pandemic to gain control over governments and economies worldwide. According to this theory, measures such as lockdowns, mask mandates, and other public health interventions are part of a broader agenda to manipulate and control society. It is important to note that the concept of a deep state or a shadowy group controlling world events lacks credible evidence. The term is often used vaguely and needs a precise definition, making it difficult to substantiate the claims made by proponents of this theory. The COVID-19 pandemic has needed various public health measures to curb the spread of the virus and protect public health. These measures, such as social distancing, mask wearing, and business restrictions, have been implemented based on scientific evidence and recommendations from global health organizations like the WHO and national health authorities. Attributing these measures to a nefarious plan for global control disregards the overwhelming consensus among scientists, public health experts, and policymakers that these measures are crucial for mitigating the impact of the pandemic and saving lives. Regardless of political ideologies, governments worldwide have implemented similar measures to protect public health and prevent healthcare systems from becoming overwhelmed. Conspiracy theories that suggest a coordinated global effort to control populations often rely on misinformation, cherry-picked evidence, and a distrust of established institutions. They tend to oversimplify complex issues and ascribe malicious intent to well-intentioned actions taken by public health agencies and governments. Evaluating information critically and relying on reputable sources when considering such conspiracy theories is essential. Scientific research, expert advice, and the consensus of the global scientific community supply a more correct understanding of the pandemic and the rationale behind public health interventions. By adhering to evidence-based practices, governments and health organizations can better respond to public health emergencies and protect the well-being of communities. Number 6. Natural health cures. Some conspiracy theories promote alternative or natural remedies to cure COVID-19 while discrediting conventional medical advice. These theories often undermine public health by spreading misinformation and advocating unproven treatments. Indeed, the conspiracy theory promoting alternative or natural remedies as a cure for COVID-19 is a persistent misinformation campaign that undermines public health efforts. These theories often discredit conventional medical advice and promote unproven treatments, leading to potential harm and a false sense of security among individuals seeking practical solutions. While natural health remedies and alternative therapies have their place in promoting overall well-being, it is essential to distinguish between evidence-based medical interventions and unsubstantiated claims. Regarding COVID-19, the most reliable and effective strategies for prevention, treatment, and management are based on scientific research, clinical trials, and the ability of healthcare professionals. Numerous conspiracy theories surrounding COVID-19 suggest that certain substances or practices, such as vitamin supplements, herbal remedies, or specific diets, can prevent or cure the virus. However, no scientific evidence supports the notion that any alternative treatments can supply a reliable defense against COVID-19 or cure the disease. Public health organizations, regulatory agencies, and medical experts emphasize the importance of evidence-based interventions, such as vaccination, adherence to public health guidelines, and approved antiviral treatments, in combating COVID-19. Vaccines have been rigorously evaluated in large clinical trials and proven highly effective in reducing the risk of severe illness, hospitalization, and death caused by the virus. Promoting unproven natural health cures as alternatives to conventional medical advice can be dangerous, as it may lead individuals to delay or avoid necessary medical interventions. It is crucial to rely on reputable sources such as healthcare professionals, regulatory agencies, and scientific research when deciding on COVID-19 prevention, treatment, and management. Public health organizations and reputable medical institutions supply correct information about COVID-19 and its management. They continuously evaluate emerging research, clinical trials, and treatment options to ensure that evidence-based recommendations are provided to the public. In conclusion, while natural health remedies have their place in promoting general well-being, it is essential to rely on evidence-based medical interventions and the advice of healthcare professionals when it comes to COVID-19. Promoting unproven treatments and conspiracy theories undermines public health efforts and can potentially harm individuals seek practical solutions. Number 5. The conspiracy theory suggesting that the COVID-19 pandemic is a hoax is not supported by credible evidence and contradicts the overwhelming scientific consensus about the virus. It is essential to address this theory and clarify the facts surrounding the severity and impact of COVID-19. COVID-19 is caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which has affected millions of people worldwide, resulting in significant illness, hospitalizations, and deaths. The global scientific community, public health organizations, and healthcare professionals have extensively studied and documented the virus's characteristics, transmission patterns, and health effects. The severity of COVID-19 is clear in the vast number of confirmed cases and the strain it has placed on healthcare systems worldwide. The virus has caused immense suffering and loss for individuals and communities globally. Scientific evidence has proven that COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory complications, acute respiratory distress syndrome, and other life-threatening complications, particularly among vulnerable populations such as the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions. Countless studies and epidemiological data have supplied robust evidence of the virus's impact and transmission dynamics. COVID-19 has spread rapidly across countries and continents, resulting in widespread illness, overwhelming healthcare systems, and needing public health interventions to have it spread. Attributing the pandemic to a hoax undermines the tireless efforts of healthcare workers, scientists, and public health officials working diligently to respond to the crisis. The overwhelming scientific consensus supports the reality of the pandemic. It underscores the importance of adhering to evidence-based strategies for prevention, such as vaccination, mask wearing, social distancing, and other public health measures. Misinformation and conspiracy theories that downplay the severity of COVID-19 and dismiss the scientific evidence only serve to worsen the impact of the pandemic. They can contribute to the spread of the virus, hinder public health efforts, and undermine trust in public health institutions. It is crucial to rely on reputable sources of information, such as recognized health authorities and scientific experts, when evaluating the severity and impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. By following evidence-based guidance, we can collectively work towards mitigating the effects of the virus, protecting public health, and saving lives. The conspiracy theory that suggests COVID-19 is a hoax overlooks the extensive evidence supporting the existence and impact of the virus. It must account for the overwhelming consensus among scientists, healthcare professionals, and public health organizations worldwide. Here are some key points to consider. Global scientific consensus. The global scientific community, including thousands of researchers and experts in various fields, has extensively studied and analyzed the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Their findings, published in peer-reviewed scientific journals, supply substantial evidence for the virus's existence and the disease it causes, COVID-19. Epidemiological data. Epidemiological studies, backed by real-world data and statistical analyses, have consistently proved the spread of the virus and its impact on populations. These studies track infection rates, hospitalizations, and mortality rates, supplying evidence of the virus's severity and consequences. Healthcare system strain. The strain placed on healthcare systems worldwide due to the COVID-19 pandemic is undeniable. Hospitals have experienced overwhelming patient volumes, shortages of critical medical supplies, and increased mortality rates. The impact on healthcare workers and infrastructure is a testament to the natural and significant threat posed by the virus. Global response. Governments, international organizations, and public health agencies worldwide have responded to the pandemic with large-scale interventions, including travel restrictions, testing, contact tracing, and vaccination campaigns. The global coordination and response to COVID-19 would not occur if the virus were a mere hoax. Deaths and long-term health effects. The virus has claimed millions globally. Mortality statistics, excess death counts, and individual stories of loss and grief underscore the devastating impact of COVID-19. Additionally, many individuals who have recovered from the virus continue to experience long-term health issues, including respiratory problems, fatigue, and cognitive impairments. Conspiracy theories that dismiss COVID-19 as a hoax often rely on misinformation, cherry-picked data, and the amplification of isolated incidents or outliers. They disregard the collective scientific knowledge and global efforts to combat the pandemic, ultimately undermining public health measures and endangering lives. It is essential to rely on correct information from reputable sources such as health authorities, scientific research, and recognized medical experts when evaluating the reality and severity of the COVID-19 pandemic. By doing so, we can make informed decisions to protect ourselves and our communities during these challenging times. Number 4. Bill Gates and population control. Conspiracy theories involving Bill Gates suggest that he created or engineered the pandemic to control the world's population through vaccines. These unfounded claims disregard that Gates has been involved in philanthropy and global health initiatives for many years. The conspiracy theory linking Bill Gates to the creation of the COVID-19 pandemic as a means of population control is entirely baseless and unsupported by any credible evidence. These claims stem from misinformation, misinterpretation of Gates' philanthropic efforts, and his involvement in global health initiatives. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill Gates has been a prominent advocate for public health and has dedicated significant resources to address global health challenges, including infectious diseases. His foundation has played a crucial role in funding research, development, and delivery of vaccines to combat polio, malaria, and COVID-19. Conspiracy theories often take snippets of information out of context and distort their meaning. In the case of Bill Gates, his support for vaccination programs and efforts to improve global healthcare infrastructure have been twisted into baseless claims of population control through vaccines. The reality is that vaccines have been instrumental in saving lives and preventing the spread of infectious diseases throughout history. They have significantly contributed to eradicating or near eradicating diseases such as smallpox and polio. The COVID-19 vaccines, developed through rigorous scientific processes and authorized by regulatory agencies, have undergone extensive testing to ensure their safety and efficacy. Accusing Bill Gates or any individual of using vaccines for population control lacks credible evidence and overlooks the immense benefits that vaccination programs bring to global health. It is crucial to rely on reputable sources, scientific research, and public health experts when evaluating vaccine claims and global health initiatives. Bill Gates' philanthropic work and commitment to improving public health should be recognized as efforts to save lives and improve well-being worldwide. Conspiracy theories that vilify individuals and undermine public health efforts can hinder progress in addressing global health challenges like COVID-19. It is essential to critically evaluate information and rely on evidence-based knowledge to make informed judgments. Conspiracy theories linking Bill Gates to population control through vaccines not only lack credible evidence but also disregard the extensive contributions Gates has made to global health and his dedication to improving the lives of people around the world. Here are some critical points to consider. Philanthropic efforts. Bill Gates, through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has focused on addressing some of the world's most pressing health challenges, including eradicating polio, reducing malaria, and improving global healthcare systems. His foundation has supplied significant financial support and resources to support research, development, and delivery of vaccines and other life-saving interventions. Vaccines save lives. Vaccines have been instrumental in preventing the spread of infectious diseases and have saved millions of lives globally. They are a critical tool in public health, reducing the burden of illness, disability, and death. The COVID-19 vaccines, like other vaccines, have undergone rigorous testing and regulatory processes to ensure safety and efficacy. Scientific consensus. The safety and efficacy of vaccines, including those for COVID-19, are decided through extensive scientific research, clinical trials, and regulatory scrutiny. Vaccines undergo rigorous evaluation by independent experts and regulatory agencies to ensure their effectiveness and safety before being authorized. The consensus among the global scientific community supports the use of vaccines to protect public health. Misinformation and fearmongering. Conspiracy theories linking vaccines to population control or other sinister motives are often fueled by misinformation and fearmongering. They disregard the wealth of scientific evidence and ability supporting vaccines to combat infectious diseases. Spreading unfounded claims can erode public trust in vaccines, leading to vaccine hesitancy and hindering efforts to control the spread of diseases. It is essential to critically evaluate information and rely on reputable sources such as scientific research, public health authorities, and recognized experts when forming opinions about vaccines and global health initiatives. By doing so, we can make informed decisions based on evidence and work together to improve public health worldwide. Bill Gates' philanthropic work and dedication to global health should be recognized as efforts aimed at improving the well-being of people worldwide rather than being the basis for unfounded conspiracy theories. By focusing on reliable information, we can contribute to the collective efforts to address global health challenges and promote the health and prosperity of communities worldwide. Number 3. COVID-19 vaccine microchips. This theory proposes that COVID-19 vaccines, developed to combat the virus, secretly inject microchips into people. The idea often revolves around claims of surveillance or control by nefarious entities. These claims are baseless, as COVID-19 vaccines do not have any tracking or microchipping technology. The scientific consensus is a crucial aspect of evaluating the safety and efficacy of vaccines. Here are some key points to consider. Extensive research and clinical trials. Vaccine development involves rigorous scientific research and multiple stages of clinical trials. These trials assess the vaccine candidate's safety, efficacy, and immunogenicity in diverse populations. Large-scale studies involving thousands of participants help gather robust data on the vaccine's effectiveness and potential side effects. Independent expert evaluation. Regulatory agencies, such as the FDA in the United States, the EMA in Europe, and other national regulatory bodies worldwide, independently review the data and findings from clinical trials. Expert panels composed of scientists, physicians, and other relevant experts meticulously assess the evidence to ensure that the vaccines meet the required safety and efficacy standards. Peer-reviewed publications. Vaccine research and trial results are subjected to rigorous peer review by independent scientists and experts in the field. This peer review process ensures the quality and integrity of the research and helps find any potential flaws or limitations. Publications in reputable scientific journals supply transparency and allow the broader scientific community to evaluate and scrutinize the findings. Consistency of findings. Multiple vaccine candidates developed by different pharmaceutical companies and research groups have undergone extensive evaluation. Despite their differences in design and technology, the COVID-19 vaccines authorized for emergency use or approved by regulatory agencies have consistently proved high efficacy rates in preventing COVID-19 and reducing the severity of the disease. Global scientific consensus. The global scientific community, represented by leading public health organizations and professional medical societies, overwhelmingly supports using vaccines to protect public health. Institutions such as the World Health Organization, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control endorse vaccination as a critical tool to control the spread of infectious diseases. The scientific consensus is not based on individual opinions, but on accumulating and evaluating scientific evidence from various sources. The rigorous evaluation processes, independent oversight, and the convergence of findings from multiple studies contribute to the establishment of scientific consensus about the safety and efficacy of vaccines. When seeking vaccine information, it is essential to rely on reputable sources and recognized scientific authorities. By understanding and embracing the scientific consensus, individuals can make informed decisions to protect themselves and their communities, contributing to global efforts to control and mitigate the impact of COVID-19. Continuous monitoring and surveillance. Vaccine safety monitoring systems, such as the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System in the United States, the European Vaccine Safety Initiative in Europe, and similar systems worldwide, are in place to detect and investigate any potential adverse events following vaccination. These systems ensure that vaccine safety profiles are continuously checked, allowing for prompt identification and response to any rare or unexpected side effects. Long-term studies. While COVID-19 vaccines were developed and authorized for emergency use in a relatively short period, long-term safety monitoring is an ongoing process. Post-authorization studies and real-world data collection are conducted to evaluate the vaccine's long-term safety and effectiveness. These studies supply valuable information on the duration of protection, potential waning immunity, and the vaccine's impact on transmission. Expert consensus statements. Expert panels and advisory committees composed of leading scientists, clinicians, and public health experts regularly review the available evidence and issue consensus statements or guidelines on vaccine use. These consensus statements are based on rigorous evaluation of scientific data and supply recommendations to healthcare professionals and the public about vaccine safety, efficacy, and best use. Vaccine confidence and public trust. Scientific consensus is vital in building public trust in vaccines. When reputable scientific and regulatory bodies consistently endorse vaccine use, it fosters confidence among individuals and communities. Vaccination programs rely on high uptake rates to achieve population-level protection and control the spread of infectious diseases. International collaboration. The global scientific community collaborates on vaccine research, development, and evaluation. Scientists and researchers from countries share data, exchange knowledge, and take part in global efforts to combat COVID-19. This collaboration helps ensure that the evaluation of vaccines is thorough, comprehensive, and representative of diverse populations. The scientific consensus on the safety and efficacy of vaccines is not static but evolves as new evidence appears. Ongoing research, surveillance systems, and monitoring efforts further strengthen the understanding of vaccine safety profiles. The collective efforts of scientists, healthcare professionals, regulatory agencies, and public health organizations contribute to building a robust scientific consensus, which forms the foundation for vaccination recommendations and policies. By recognizing and relying on the scientific consensus, individuals can make informed decisions about COVID-19 vaccination and actively contribute to global efforts to control the pandemic and protect public health. Number 2, 5G network and COVID-19. This theory falsely links the rollout of 5G technology with the spread of COVID-19. It suggests that the radiation from 5G towers weakens the immune system, making individuals more susceptible to the virus. Scientific consensus confirms that no such connection between 5G and the virus exists. The claim that 5G technology is connected to the spread of COVID-19 is entirely unfounded and lacks scientific basis. Here are some essential points to consider. Scientific consensus. The global scientific community, including experts in virology, epidemiology, and telecommunications, has repeatedly confirmed no causal relationship between 5G technology and COVID-19. Multiple studies and extensive research have been conducted to assess the potential health effects of electromagnetic radiation from 5G networks, and there is no evidence supporting the theory that it weakens the immune system or increases susceptibility to viruses. Regulatory standards and safety measures. Telecommunications technologies, including 5G, are subject to rigorous evaluation and regulation by national and international bodies. These regulatory agencies set safety standards and guidelines to protect public health. The deployment of 5G networks adheres to these standards, ensuring that the electromagnetic radiation emitted by the technology is well within safe limits. Differences in geography and timing. COVID-19 cases have been reported in countries without 5G technology, while other countries with widespread 5G coverage have had low COVID-19 transmission rates. The virus's global spread does not align with the rollout of 5G technology, further disproving the notion of a causal connection. Prevalence of COVID-19 before 5G. COVID-19 was already spreading globally before the rollout of 5G networks. The virus was first found in December 2019 in Wuhan, China, while the deployment of 5G technology began years earlier in select locations. The timeline and geographic distribution of COVID-19 cases do not support any correlation with 5G technology. Expert consensus and reputable sources. Leading health organizations, such as the World Health Organization and national health authorities, have categorically said that there is no evidence linking 5G technology to the spread of COVID-19. Reliable sources, including scientific research, expert opinions, and reputable media outlets, emphasize this conspiracy theory's lack of scientific validity. Conspiracy theories that falsely link 5G technology to the spread of COVID-19 spread misinformation and divert attention from the actual preventive measures and public health efforts needed to control the pandemic. It is crucial to rely on evidence-based information from reputable sources and scientific consensus when evaluating claims related to the relationship between 5G technology and COVID-19. By understanding the scientific consensus and relying on correct information, individuals can make informed decisions and actively contribute to public health measures to combat COVID-19. Different transmission mechanisms. COVID-19 is primarily transmitted through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, talks, or breathes heavily close to others. The virus spreads from person to person, primarily through direct contact or contact with contaminated surfaces and touching the face. On the other hand, 5G technology runs using electromagnetic waves, which are non-biological and cannot send viruses. Wide-scale adoption of 5G. The conspiracy theory linking 5G technology to COVID-19 does not account for the fact that 5G networks have been deployed in only a fraction of the world's population. At the same time, COVID-19 has affected nearly every country on the planet. The virus has spread in areas with no 5G coverage, further disproving any direct connection between the two. Inconsistent claims and lack of scientific evidence. Proponents of the conspiracy theory often make inconsistent and contradictory claims about the mechanisms through which 5G technology would interact with the virus. These claims need more scientific evidence and meet the rigorous standards of peer-reviewed research and set up scientific methods. Expert refutation. Numerous virology, epidemiology, and telecommunications experts have debunked the 5G COVID-19 conspiracy theory. These experts have emphasized that the theory is based on misinformation, misunderstandings, and a lack of scientific understanding of 5G technology and the virus. Historical precedent. Similar conspiracy theories have appeared, falsely linking new technologies to public health issues. For example, during the rollout of 4G networks, similar claims were made about adverse health effects, ultimately debunked by scientific research and expert consensus. It is essential to evaluate information critically and rely on reputable sources such as scientific research, public health authorities, and recognized experts when assessing claims about the relationship between 5G technology and COVID-19. By doing so, individuals can make informed decisions based on evidence and contribute to the collective efforts to combat the COVID-19 pandemic effectively. Promoting correct information, understanding the scientific consensus, and supporting public health measures are vital in addressing the challenges posed by COVID-19 and ensuring the well-being of communities worldwide. Number 1. The theory suggesting that the SARS-CoV-2 virus escaped from a lab, notably the Wuhan Institute of Virology, lacks conclusive evidence and is not supported by the investigations conducted by international experts and intelligence agencies. Here are some critical points to consider. WHO investigation. In early 2021, the World Health Organization conducted a joint study with Chinese scientists to investigate the origins of COVID-19. While the study found the introduction of the virus from an animal source to humans as the most likely scenario, it did not find sufficient evidence to support the lab leak theory. The study concluded that a laboratory origin was doubtful. Intelligence assessments. Intelligence agencies from different countries have also investigated the virus's origins. These assessments, which included examining classified and open source information, did not supply definitive evidence to support the lab leak theory. Statements from various intelligence agencies, including those from the United States, have shown that they have not found conclusive proof of a laboratory accident as the source of the virus. Lab safety protocols. High-security laboratories like the Wuhan Institute of Virology are designed with strict safety protocols to prevent accidental leaks of dangerous pathogens. While accidents can happen, the likelihood of a well-regulated laboratory causing a global pandemic is considered extremely low. These labs have robust containment measures in place to prevent the accidental release of viruses. Prevalence in nature. Coronaviruses similar to SARS-CoV-2 have been found in wildlife, including bats, known reservoirs for coronaviruses. The natural spillover of viruses from animals to humans is well documented and has been the source of earlier outbreaks, such as SARS and MERS. Extensive genomic analyses and scientific research support the zoonotic origin of SARS-CoV-2. Scientific consensus. The global scientific community, including virologists, epidemiologists, and experts in infectious diseases, generally agrees that the most likely origin of SARS-CoV-2 is through zoonotic transmission. This consensus is based on the available scientific evidence, including genomic sequencing, epidemiological investigations, and comparative studies of related coronaviruses. While it is important to continue investigating the virus's origins to prevent future pandemics, the current scientific consensus and investigations conducted by international experts and intelligence agencies do not support the claim that SARS-CoV-2 escaped from a lab. Transparency and cooperation. The investigations into the origins of COVID-19 have involved cooperation between international experts, scientific organizations, and governments. While challenges exist about access to data and early information, efforts have been made to promote transparency and ease thorough investigations. The cooperation of multiple countries and experts is essential in understanding the virus's origins. Scientific scrutiny and debate. The scientific community runs on rigorous scrutiny and open debate. Scientists worldwide have actively examined and analyzed the available data, including genomic sequences, to better understand the virus's origins. This ongoing scientific inquiry is vital for uncovering the truth and refining our knowledge of the pandemic's origins. Occam's razor principle. The principle of Occam's razor states that the simplest explanation is usually the most likely, which applies in this context. The theory that the virus appeared through natural spillover from animals aligns with the occurrence of earlier viral outbreaks and is supported by scientific evidence. The lab leak theory, however, requires significant evidence to overcome the burden of proof and set up a credible case. Investigation into other possibilities. While investigations have primarily focused on zoonotic transmission, experts continue to explore alternative hypotheses, including the possibility of intermediate hosts or other transmission routes. These investigations are conducted through scientific collaboration, data sharing, and ongoing research efforts to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the virus's origins. Importance of preventing future outbreaks. Regardless of the specific origin of SARS-CoV-2, it is crucial to prioritize efforts in preventing future outbreaks and strengthening global pandemic preparedness. This includes improved surveillance, early detection, robust public health systems, and proactive measures to address zoonotic diseases and their potential transmission to humans. It is essential to approach the investigation into the origins of COVID-19 with scientific rigor, evidence-based analysis, and an openness to new information. By relying on set-up scientific processes, international cooperation, and reputable sources of information, we can better understand the virus's origins and take adequate measures to prevent future pandemics. While questions about the origins of COVID-19 remain, the prevailing scientific consensus, based on available evidence and investigations conducted by international experts, shows that a lab leak is highly unlikely. Continued scientific research and collaboration are vital to advancing our understanding and ensuring global health security. Disclaimer. The information provided in the earlier responses is based on widely accepted scientific consensus, expert opinions, and reputable sources available at the time of writing. The purpose of addressing conspiracy theories is to supply a balanced perspective and debunk misinformation. The author of these responses does not endorse or promote conspiracy theories. Evaluating information critically, consulting reputable sources, and relying on scientific consensus when forming opinions or making decisions are essential. The understanding of COVID-19 and related topics continues to evolve as new evidence appears.